No, they did not. Let me tell you, Asians, they got their nerves. The Asian Americans, honey, they talking about, oh, okay, well, Black America should not enter China. Black America should not enter Asia. Are y'all serious? Y'all don't want to play the games with us. Let me tell you guys, Asian Americans, they are still devastated. They're still upset about the black boycott on their businesses, that black people decided not to participate in their business anymore. And they said, this is going long enough. You guys are not hearing us. They said Asian America is getting on video, and I got the videos here of some of them, that they're speaking out, and they feel like Black Americans keep on ignoring them, and they want to retaliate. They've been trying to reach out to Trump. Trump ain't hearing it. So they're like, well, we like, they want revenge, you know? And honey, it's sad that we are the victims. Now they want to be the victims. I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube.
I see another Asian creator come on here and say that the boycott of Asian businesses is racist. I think I'm going to lose my mind. I don't know if you're not aware, but standing in solidarity with people of color, with Black people, it's the best thing for us. It's the best thing that we can do as people of color, to stand together. But to make those...
So it is Juneteenth. It is the month of Juneteenth. It is Black American history. It is the time that we talk about all the inventions that America has that was created by us, from air conditioners to spatulas. Okay. This is a time that, since it is a national holiday, that we thought the world would be in celebratory moments with us. You know, instead of me seeing all these hate videos from other races, it's supposed to be some fun, some banter. I want to see some Juneteenth, we love Black people content. But let me tell you how the devil works. Here we go. Black boy gets pew pew. 14 years old. This is a tale as old as time. No one cares about our Black lives. We're used to it, unfortunately. It just is one of the things of being Black. It's dangerous to be Black in this country. So, Juneteenth. Black boy gets pew-pewed in his back, running away, mind you. All the news have come out. Boy didn't even have no water. But let's just talk about that. You wanted to pew-pew him. Not wanted to. You pew-pewed him, unalived him, because you thought he stole water that's supposed to be free. It's Juneteenth. It's June. It's celebratory of Black history. Now, both communities are speaking up about it. I am a chocolate royal, and there are a lot of Asians speaking up about it. And instead of him starting this video with saying, you know, there was an Asian who unalived a Black boy, he starts the video with more anti-Asian hate because we are boycotting your stores. What? Not more anti-Black hate from the Asian community, because one of ours is, you're out here dragging our names because we stopped shopping at your stores, yet your 14-year-old boys are still running around breathing and drinking water for free. Yeah. Because let's just keep it a buck. If the little boy was Asian, he wouldn't be tripping about no water. He would have gave it to him for free. And just because I'm also a part of an organization right now where I'm giving out a bunch of free stuff, that's how I would have moved too. If the boy was Asian, Mexican, Puerto Rican, it's 100 degrees outside. You're super dehydrated. I own a store where I have fresh, cold water. Boy, go and take this water and go now. It would have never been that serious to me. So the deep-rooted hate that this man had for the Black community, that he wanted to unalive a child over water. I twitch. So I'm a part of this group, this movement called Genders of Black, right? And that started May 6, 2025. And when
the people spending money there. And a big part of that story involves Asian-owned businesses. Now, how did we get here? After the Civil Rights Act, white business owners fled black neighborhoods. I mean, they got out of there fast. Redlining made it nearly impossible for black people to get the loans to replace them. But immigrant communities, particularly Korean and Chinese entrepreneurs in the 70s and 80s, could access certain small business loans and supplier networks that black residents couldn't. So they moved in, and an economic dynamic was born that we've never fully interrogated. And the tension, it's not new either. We saw it explode in 1991 when Natasha Harlins, a 15-year-old black girl, was shot in the back of the head by a Korean store owner who thought she was stealing orange juice. She wasn't. The owner got probation. That's not an isolated incident. That's a pattern of suspicion, of surveillance, of black customers being treated like suspects in stores built on black dollars. Here's the part that should make you think, though. Many Asian communities bought into a hierarchy they were never actually invited to. White supremacy handed them the model minority myth, not as a compliment, but as a weapon against black people. And some accepted the trade. Treat us like we're almost white, and we'll look down on blackness too. But that acceptance was always conditional and never full. Just recently, the attacks on Asian elders during COVID proved it. America will use you and discard you just the same. So this isn't about hate. It's not about blame. We just got a reminder. It's about economics and self-respect. Black dollars are some of the most powerful in this country, and they deserve to circulate in black communities. Listen, you teach people how to treat you by where you spit. It's time to invest.
3. Nobody in there. But the gag is, look how many nail shops I went to in less, it ain't even been 10 minutes. It's not even 10 minutes away. Look it. This is the last one. Ain't nobody there. Ain't nobody hanging out.
So what if black people are boycotting Asian businesses? If that's what it takes to wake our community up, more power to them. And I really need Asians to wake the fuck up. Because I am tired of getting on this app every business week and having to talk about some fuck shit that some Asian person is doing to black people. There's so many other things I want to talk about on this app. Domestic violence prevention, mosquito brains, because that's what I got my PhD in. My writing process and how I write sci-fi novels and how I write, yes, the small business that I run because I write the sci-fi novels. But instead, no, I always see some Asian doing some model minority stuff and then I feel a moral imperative to talk about it because it ends up in the death of innocent people like Cyrus Carmack Belton. I am sick of watching our country slide into fascism and watch the Asian vote be split because so many of us want to ally ourselves with our oppressors. And in my personal life, I'm tired of not being able to trust Asian people that I meet because so many of you would throw Asian people under the bus for white acceptance. And on top of that, a number of my friends are black people, and I don't want to have anybody in my life who is unsafe for my friends. Model minority Asians are unsafe for Asians to be around as well, and they are potentially lethal for black people. I don't want that in my community. Get that out. And if these Asian stores close, like the ones that opened up in black neighborhoods, and then complain about black people being there and do racist things to them and profile them, let the stores close. Y'all don't deserve to be there. Have some respect. I know Asian people love money, so black people withholding their dollars might actually get through some of your thick skull.
All I'm saying is that if you are Asian, before you should even be asking the question about who gets to decide who gets to boycott Asian-owned businesses, we need to be having the conversations in our own spaces about whether or not anti-black racism needs to be addressed and have those uncomfortable conversations within our communities. Because I have been doing this for years, right? Have you been doing that? Before you decided to come online and post a video being like, oh, black Americans are such hypocrites, which they are not. They have a right. Like, they have an absolute right because we do have rampant anti-black racism. And before we are willing, like, we need to be willing to take accountability for that before we get to decide a world that is made to be black and white. Then if you are going to look at this boycotting situation as, oh, you shouldn't boycott us. Why should we have to pay for the sins of this one guy? Like, that's not like the systemic playbook, right? Like when one person does harm, or even if it's a few people doing harm, right? Like, if you think about like slavery in the South, even if it was just a few people, a few families running the whole thing, okay? The systemic issue is still the fact that everybody inherited these core belief systems about certain marginalized groups of people. And we are still perpetuating these ideas, right? Like, the issue is that our ideologies are still there, right? And until we're able to address that, why are we even thinking immediately like, oh, actually, I'm going to argue about boycotting, when you should be looking at yourself in a mirror and being like, hey, I realize that I'm contributing. My community is contributing. How have I seen anti-Black racism manifest in Asian spaces? Like, why are these conversations so difficult to have? I don't know. But they need to be had, right? They exist. They exist. People are doing it. Some people are not. But when it comes to the question of solidarity, are you for or against? And if you are for, then have the conversations first.
Explicitly calling for violence against Asians. Now Chow's convenience store was looted, was ransacked, it was vandalized. But the most annoying thing is that gives us all Black fatigue is that these people are more enraged at the justified reaction to garbage behavior than garbage behavior itself. Black people on the internet are saying that Asians are going around targeting Black people to kill them, which is so preposterous. We all know this. Why did the Stop Asian Hate movement die? It died because we all found out it was majority Black people committing the crimes against Asians. Black people in cities are going around shoplifting, looting from Asians, assaulting them, killing them, shoving them onto subway tracks, stabbing them to death, following them into their homes, and there's case after case after case in the past few years alone. And the two instances that Black people keep looking to, one, Cyrus Belton, and then two, in 1991, Latasha Harlins. These are the only two examples they keep looking to. Meanwhile, there are countless examples this past year, in the past few years, that I can look to and I can mention. Are Asians now justified saying that all Black people hate Asians now? I mean, it's ridiculous. All these people know how to do is air their grievance politics on the internet and act like perpetual victims and never claim accountability for their own actions. It's always other people's fault for their own squalor and filth. And they're never willing to call out their own degeneracy, their own crime, and their own violent behavior. So don't come to us saying that Black people are under attack by Asians, because we all know it's not true. While you're silent, absolutely silent, in the plethora of instances where Black people have attacked Asians. And good luck boycotting Asian businesses, by the way. The very device that you're complaining on is made by an Asian. The semiconductors, Asian. The screens, Asian. The phone, the devices, a lot of the computer parts, device parts, smartphone parts, all Asian. Good luck. For some reason, these people think that being Black allows them to get away with anything. And that's just not the case. We can't have a society like that, okay? They think that when Black people go into Asian stores and steal their stuff, or Asians are being attacked, or a gun's pointed at an Asian, we're just supposed to take it. If you're not Black and a Black person does that to you, we're just supposed to allow it to happen. It's the most absurd thing ever. And this
with, Asians and Black people fighting in my comment section. And honestly, it shows how little we actually talk about the history behind all of this. The tension didn't just magically appear. It was shaped by decades of laws, segregation, stereotypes, and political narratives that pushed our communities apart. When Asian immigrants first came to the US, they weren't allowed to live just anywhere. Segregation forced them into Black and brown neighborhoods because those are the only areas open to anyone who wasn't white. So Asians and Black Americans were physically close, but not always connected. Different languages, different histories, limited communication, misunderstandings grew out of that. Then in the 1960s, during the Civil Rights Movement, the US created the model minority myth. The idea that Asian Americans were successful, quiet, and proof that racism doesn't exist. That stereotype was never meant to lift Asians up. It was meant to contrast Asians against Black Americans and basically say, see, they're doing fine, why can't you? It was a political tool that built resentment and pressure on both sides, even though neither community created that narrative. At the same time, anti-Blackness already existed in some Asian cultures because of colonialism, colorism, and Western media influence. And for some Black Americans, their own interactions with Asians were through local businesses, corner stores, nail salons, restaurants, situations that were transactional, not relational. That created frustration and stereotypes on both sides. But here's the thing. In both communities, it's only a small handful of people who are actually hateful or racist. A few loud, ignorant individuals do not represent millions of us. We can't let the worst examples define entire communities. Then COVID hit and all of this got amplified again. Anti-Asian hate skyrocketed. Elderly Asians were attacked, harassed, and blamed for the virus, all because of fear and political scapegoating. Some of the viral videos showed attackers who were Black, and suddenly that tiny number of incidents turned into a whole narrative online like Black people hate Asians, which was inaccurate and unfair. What people forget is that Black activists and Black organizations publicly stood with Asian communities during that time. People protested for us. They protected Asian elders. They spoke out against the hate. But the media rarely highlighted the solidarity, only the violence. And yes, some Asians responded by generalizing those incidents and blaming the entire Black community, which made things even worse, even though the majority of Black people had nothing to do with those attacks. COVID didn't create new racism. It exposed what was already unaddressed and made stereotypes louder because everyone was scared and hurting. But amid all of that, we forget that historically there has also been real solidarity. Asian American activists learned organizing strategies from Black civil rights leaders. Filipino and Black farm workers united under Larry Itliong and Cesar Chavez. Japanese American activists stood with the Black Panthers. Yuri Kochiyama worked alongside Malcolm X. In Oakland, Black and Asian communities built programs together to fight poverty and injustice. These are real alliances. They just don't get talked about as much as the conflicts. That's why we need to zoom out. Like, a handful of ignorant people shouldn't define entire communities. A bad experience shouldn't turn into a stereotype. We shouldn't let old narratives and old wounds be recycled and divide us again. Asians and Black people have both faced discrimination, exclusion, violence, and being treated like outsiders. We have more in common than we think, and when we work together, there's real power, real healing, and real progress. We just have to stop letting fear, stereotypes, and misinformation talk louder than the history and solidarity we actually come from.
Proximity to whiteness in the Asian community needs to be denounced at any term. Many of us are forgetting the history between the Black and Asian solidarity, and these things are important things to combat systemic racism around here in US. Ho Chi Minh also wrote a book of why Black people are the most oppressed people in the United States. It's because they were lynched, and especially that they had to deal with so many systemic racism. We are seeing too many white people are weaponizing the Asian community, and that's why we have anti-Blackness in our culture. And for that reason, it's time for us to decenter whiteness.
When I got jumped by 5 Black people, did you put out a statement? Did you fucking speak out for me? When all the looting that was happening, did you speak out for all those businesses that suffered? I'm gonna say again that I say in every single video. Boycott all you want. That's not my problem. It's your right to boycott. It's your right to spend your money however you want. Just don't hurt innocent businesses that has nothing to do with it just because it's owned by Asians. I cannot be any more clear than this.
I think I said in my previous video already, but I don't think it's in news that a lot of Asians are anti-Black. And it is not just Asian American diaspora, it is also Asian in Asia. I am an Asian, grew up in Asia, and I have so many stories of people over there being outwardly racist and anti-Black and colorist, if you care. Although I do realize that the rich outsiders situation is what the court intentionally doing to separate the minority group and pin us against each other because, you know, the midterm is coming, and seeing us hating each other, pinning us against each other is exactly what white fascists and white supremacy want us to be doing. However, but I think it's really reasonable for these for other people to be boycotting Asian business if they are really anti-Black, because let's be so for real, a lot of them are really anti-Black. So when these people saying that they are boycotting Asian business or Asian
use that as an opportunity to gain clout and followers. Because what I'm seeing is the same creators that used our rally and many other Stop Asian Hate rallies are now saying boycott Asian businesses as if they were not key players in the Stop Asian Hate movement. So yeah, fuck all y'all because I see right through your bullshit. Anyways, we need to show empathy, compassion to the Black community because we know exactly how they feel. So go support your Black businesses, okay? I might get canceled for this, but I don't really care because I don't have a LinkedIn for you to find me. This message is for all the large Asian creators that support Asian businesses being boycotted. Now we're all catching strays for Rick Chow. Like the discourse I've seen of Asian creators saying that we deserve to get boycotted are the same creators that attended those rallies and have continuously spoken up about Stop Asian Hate. Like, did you guys really care about what was happening or did you use that as an opportunity to gain clout and followers? Because what I'm seeing is the same creators that used our rally and many other Stop Asian Hate rallies are now saying boycott Asian businesses as if they were not key players in the Stop Asian Hate movement. So yeah, fuck all y'all because I see right through your bullshit.
I don't care what race you are, you cannot police one community on how they should spend their dollars and who they should spend their dollars with. Now, with that being said, it seemed like these Asian businesses, this Asian relationship in Black American communities is very predatorial and it's not transactional because if you go to a Koreatown, if you go to a Japanese town, if you go to a China town, there's no Black American businesses in those areas or that community. And we could go on in any other community, a Ethiopian district, a African town. They have African towns. There's no Black American businesses in none of these sections, right? But you have their businesses all throughout Black American communities. So once again, this seems like a very predatorial relationship. She goes on to say, well, you know, these businesses was the ones that funded to stop the Asian hate movement. No, indirectly, whether Black Americans was out there protesting side by side with Asians or not, your Black American dollars funded this stop the Asian hate movement. Yeah, because that's where they got the money from. Remember, their businesses is in Black American communities, but Black American businesses are not in their communities or any other bodies' communities. So for you to sit up here and try to indirectly say, well, you know, people saying they're not going to support Asian businesses. No, that's not what they're saying. They're saying that they're not going to support Asian businesses in Black American communities. And plus, all the products they have in the Black American communities is poison, right? You're not setting up no Whole Foods or Trader Joe's in Black American communities. You're selling fried chicken. If I want to get a heart attack or high cholesterol, I'd rather buy my fried chicken from a Black American person. I'm sorry, that's who originated it, right? If I want to buy some liquor, some hen dog, I'd rather buy the poison from the Black American. So it's not like they're providing any health equity in the Black community. All this stuff is poison, right? But yeah, once again, you can't police how one community spends their dollars. And if they don't want to shop with you, they don't have to shop with you, right? And this is not a transactional relationship. This seems predatorial.
The boycott is not about hating Asians. The boycott is not about spreading racism. The boycott is about taking the money that we have and infusing it back into our own communities, doing the thing that all these other communities brag about doing, all these other communities brag about doing in the open. Why is it that Hispanic people will always shop in Hispanic stores? They will support their own. They will support their own communities, and they don't ever hear any sort of backlash from it. Asian Americans will support their own. They will support their own communities. They will funnel their money back into their own and don't get any pushback on it. The same thing goes for African communities. The same thing goes for Middle Eastern communities. The same thing goes for every other demographic that likes to say that it is very important for them to invest in their own and prop up their own, re-infuse money within their own community. Why does nobody else get the pushback that we do? Why does nobody else get called racist? Nobody else gets called hateful. Nobody else said, no, they don't say anybody else is chimping out. Nobody else gets long think pieces and long conversation pieces from all over saying that just because somebody did something doesn't mean that you have to do this. Why do y'all care so much about where our money goes? Because I'm not hearing an answer to that question. I'm not hearing any of you answer that question. Why do you care so much where our money goes? When you make it very clear you don't like our behavior, when you make it very clear you don't like our decisions, when you make it very clear that you don't like our presence around you in any way, shape, or form. You're constantly talking about us being the problem. You're constantly talking about us needing to change the way we behave ourselves. And so we say, fine, we will go do it amongst other Black Americans. We will spend it amongst other Black Americans. But y'all call that racist. Y'all call that hateful. There's something going on in this country. I don't know how this sickness has spread to all of these other communities within the United States. Because it felt like 5 or 6 years ago, all of these communities were very gung-ho to stand with us in the fight for equality in America. Now, for some reason, they all want to take up the stand.
Boycott Asian businesses. Look, I know many people are angry. They think justice needs to be served. So they want to boycott Asian businesses. I know emotions are high, and if this is how you think there's going to be some justice, okay, I'm okay with it. But then when does it end? When is it, okay, we've boycotted Asian businesses enough, justice is served, now let's move on. I just personally don't think this is the solution. If anything, it produces more tension, creating some unnecessary race war. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Asian business owners that are like, what happened? Where's all my Black customers? They're just trying to make a living. They're just trying to make money. Now, what's the answer? I don't know. If you have any productive recommendations, please comment below. But personally, I just don't think boycotting Asian businesses achieves anything.
Just a reminder to other Asians, when the Black community says that they're going to boycott Asian businesses, that's not them being racist. They're literally just asking us to give them the respect that they rightfully deserve. There's a lot of anti-Blackness in the Asian community, and I'm sick of seeing it. We're all sick of seeing it. And the Black community knows that all Asians aren't racist. It's just that these Asian businesses need to be reminded that they literally profit off of the Black community.